The story of Starbucks began when Gordon Bowker was traveling across Europe. He ordered a cappuccino from a small cafe in Rome, and it tasted different, the much better you see at the time. Most Americans only drank cheap instant coffee or low-quality coffee from diners when he returned from his trip. Gordon told two friends about this experience, and they decided to try and bring higher quality coffee to the American market. Starbucks was founded by three partners, Jerry Baldwin, Zev Siegel, and Gordon Bowker. They opened a little specialty coffee store in 1971. They sold whole bean coffee from places like Colombia, Indonesia, and Ethiopia. Coffee they roasted themselves and hand-scooped into paper bags, but they didn't actually make or serve drinks in the actual store. With this business model, growth was slow but steady by 1981. To name the place, they looked to the nearby waterfront for inspiration. They chose the name Starbucks, evoking a character from the classic novel Moby Dick. For the logo, they chose a siren as alluring as the coffee itself. 10 years later, a young New Yorker named Howard Schultz traveled to Seattle and walked down the market's cobblestone streets for the first time and into Starbucks. From that first sip of Sumatra, he became entranced with the coffee and the company and joined in 1982 as the Director of Operations and Marketing. Howard's business plan revolved around him selling coffee at $3 per cup, and at this time, coffee generally sold for around 50 cents per cup. Howard Schultz is a very persistent man, and after speaking with hundreds of investors, he finally raised enough capital to launch his own Italian-style coffee shop. Another year and another cobblestone road brought him to the streets of Milan, Italy. It was there Howard noticed these casual, welcoming coffee houses everywhere. All who entered these cafes were greeted with the same warmth and enthusiasm, whether it was their first visit ever or their third that day. Howard was exhilarated by his idea to bring Italy's cafe and espresso culture back home with him. He convinced Starbucks to open a test cafe in a single downtown store. And on a rainy morning in Seattle, Starbucks served its first cafe latte. For the cup of good coffee, I just walk half a block north on 4th Avenue to Starbucks. All those great caffeine-charged drinks with the Italian names, cafe latte, cafe macchiato, and mocha. In 1987, Howard and a group of investors acquired Starbucks, merging Starbucks Coffee with the Il Giornale coffee houses. Howard had started 2 years before. Starbucks opened its first stores outside the Puget Sound in Chicago and Vancouver, Canada. Then Starbucks made its employees partners, offering equity in the company through Beanstalk. By the time Starbucks' initial public offering came around in 1992, Starbucks was really starting to take off. Starbucks coffee was served on airlines, in airports, and the company was even making a splash on something called the World Wide Web. Howard had found a business model that worked, and he had the backing of investors. It was easy to keep replicating it. Starbucks began rapidly opening more and more stores everywhere, and not just in the US. Howard wanted to take Starbucks global. And by 1998, Starbucks would open stores in Japan, the Philippines, the UK, and more. In fact, in the year 2000, Howard stepped down as CEO to focus specifically on global domination. We're opening 5 new stores. In the late 2000s and early 2010s, Starbucks faced some challenges, including economic downturns and overexpansion. The company made several strategic decisions, such as closing underperforming stores and expanding its menu to include non-coffee items like snacks and sandwiches. Howard Schultz returned as CEO in 2008 to lead the company through these tough times. A year later, by 2008, Starbucks had almost 17,000 stores worldwide. With Howard leading things, they'd grown the store number by almost 10,000%. Starbucks was seemingly everywhere. Starbucks have now continued to thrive and expand. Starbucks was trying all kinds of new things. Some were hits, like Frappuccino. Starbucks tried to make the world a little bit better, starting the Cup Fund to help partners in crisis, opening its first farmer support center, planting community gardens and reading to kids. Starbucks partners rededicated themselves to coffee, to their customers, and to each other. Starbucks refocused on its core values and on reigniting people's passion for coffee and innovation. The company's new mission became a guiding star to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. From the moment Howard Schultz became CEO, the first time around the real product Starbucks sold was the experience. Starbucks have even started trialing their reserve roasteries, massive 20,000 square foot malls designed to be tourist attractions where baristas experiment with different brewing methods and crafting new, innovative drinks. So if you've ever wondered why Starbucks became a coffee behemoth was coffee shops with even nicer tasting, coffee didn't succeed, the answer is simple: it was never really about the coffee. In recent years, Starbucks has focused on innovation, introducing various products, including mobile ordering and payment options. The company has also committed to sustainability initiatives, such as offering reusable cups and working to make its operations more environmentally friendly. Starbucks has made efforts to promote diversity and inclusion within its workforce and has launched various initiatives to address social issues, such as race relations and climate change. In 2017, in the spot where it all began, Starbucks started a new chapter when Howard handed over his key to the Pike Place store to a new CEO, Kevin Johnson. The 1912 key is a symbol, but this key is also the key to our future. Each day, we dedicate ourselves to living our values. Starbucks expanded internationally, with stores opening in various countries around the world. By the early 2000s, Starbucks had become a global brand known for its coffee and unique coffeehouse atmosphere. Today, Starbucks is one of the world's largest and most recognizable coffeehouse chains, with thousands of stores worldwide, offering a wide range of coffee and non-coffee products. It has a strong presence in various countries and continues to evolve and adapt to changing consumer preferences and social responsibilities. For the past 50 years, the Starbucks mission and values have been not only an anchor for this journey, but the wind in our sails. Who we were in the beginning is who we are today. As Howard would say, dream big and then dream bigger. In September 2021, Starbucks continues to innovate, adapt, and expand. The company has been focusing on sustainability, digital transformation, and menu diversification. The story of Starbucks is undeniably a success story, and Howard's rise from poverty to billionaire is remarkable. He saw an idea, brought it to a new market, and through hard work and great business strategy, built an empire. However, what's possible, even more remarkable, is where Starbucks is heading. And that's the wrap of our story for today. What can you say about how the Starbucks created?